Just as the seasons change and the weather changes day to day, hour to hour, flowers bloom and fade and the birds set off for distant shores, everything in nature changes. The key is not to get too attached to what has come before and what the future might bring, and to appreciate the present moment, the here and now. Hi, my name's Jo Heath and I'm Head of Countryside at Hampshire County Council. In this series of mini podcasts, I'd like to introduce you to mindfulness, in particular the benefits of being mindful in nature can bring. When I walked through the orchard local to me earlier in the spring, I've never before experienced an orchard so full of blossom. The different varieties of apple and pear trees had a slightly different type of blossom, and the frothy pinks and whites in the sunshine were a delight. Now when I go there, I see the beginnings of the fruit, small hard green baubles that will eventually become juicy, fleshed apples for eating. There are those that are destined to be squished and coaxed in to yield their sweet and tart juices and to be bottled for apple juice. It is inevitable that this change will come, and if we realise that and accept that it's part of life, it helps us to not get too attached. We can let go and stop clinging to the past or the future, whether it's an idea, a thing, an event or a particular time, just as we try to let go of our thoughts during mindfulness meditation. Distance ourselves from our thoughts and observe them. So rather than be wistful for the beautiful blossom, yearning for those sunny spring days, or desperate for the day when the fruit is all the shades of pink, red and green in their ripeness, I have to learn to accept the present. After all, there's nothing I can do to change it. It may look like nothing is going on in the orchard right now. The meadows around the trees are a sea of grass with colours ranging from green to purple, yellow and gold. At first glance, these grasses may all look the same, but if you stop and really look, you start to see the different varieties. You might not know their names, I know I don't, but you can spot the differences. And if you stay with that view for a while, you start to see more. The ladybirds making their way along the branches, the butterflies flitting across the top of the stems. As you sit, you observe that the view is always changing. The light changes the colours of the field. The breeze changes the way the grasses move. The birds come and go across the skyline. There is no permanence. In that moment, you may realise that nature is always in the present moment. So here is a short exercise that you can do to help you arrive in that present moment, courtesy of Shamash Aladina, who was my mindfulness teacher. I invite you to get into a comfortable position. You could be standing, lying or sitting down, as long as you're in an alert and dignified position, and take a few deep, smooth breaths. Let out each breath, and every time you do, have a feeling of letting go. Gently close your eyes if that's okay for you. Now imagine that you're holding 2 heavy shopping bags. Just try to imagine how heavy they feel, that the strain of holding them is pulling you down and making you feel quite tired and tense. Let the bag in one hand represent your past. It has past written on it. It contains all your past experiences, the happy times and the sorrows. Just take a few moments to think about all the life that you have already lived. Now imagine it's time to let go and put down the bag of past so you can have a rest. Imagine you slowly lower the bag to the ground until it makes contact. And as you let go, you smile. You may feel that you are now free from the weight of your past that you've been carrying around with you for so long. In your other hand, you are holding a heavy bag representing your future. It has future written on it. This contains all your hopes and dreams, but also your worries and concerns about what may or may not happen in the future. Take a moment to consider all that is in that bag. Now imagine that you are going to lower this bag gently to the ground, this bag that's slowing you down. Take your time and slowly lower it until it is resting on the ground also. You may feel that a burden's been lifted as your hand is free and you've put down your bag of the future. So here you are in the present moment, between the past and the future. All that exists really is the present moment. So enjoy it and spend as much time in it as you like. This exercise is something that you can come back to if you ever feel that you're carrying too much weight from the past or too much weight for the future. Especially at the moment, it may be easy to get carried away worrying about what might come and thinking about what has passed. You may wish for things to move on, for things to be different, or you may want things to stay the same. Through mindfulness practice, we can learn to be more present. We can cultivate an attitude of being grateful for even the small things, like that meadow of grasses. Before I leave you, I invite you to find a place in nature, perhaps your own secret spot where you can spend time observing what is happening. Hopefully you can return there a few times a week and notice how it changes. It is never the same, but it is always in the present.